faster than the fabric of space-time can keep up with it, and it'll just rip. And I'm terrified by this.
A cosmic show is happening right now, fascinating astronomers around the world. Betelgeuse, the stunning red supergiant on Orion's shoulder, is going through an incredible transformation. Its brightness, the glowing light that makes it stand out in the sky, has increased dramatically, by an amazing 50%. But with this surprising rise in brightness, the Betelgeuse Supernova is set to take the night sky all over the world, shining more brilliantly than ever. But what secret might this event reveal? Join us as we unravel the mystery of what's going on with the Betelgeuse and how it might take over the night sky all over the world. Phenomenal supernova of Betelgeuse. Betelgeuse, a gigantic star nearing the end of its life, is so enormous that if it were placed at the center of our solar system, its outer edge would reach Jupiter. This star is now highly expected to collapse in a dramatic and powerful explosion known as a supernova. This explosion, according to astronomers, is expected to lead to the creation of either a neutron star or a black hole. What makes Betelgeuse's upcoming supernova so exciting is that it will be one of the most remarkable events ever seen from Earth. Positioned about 650 light-years away, our planet is in a perfect spot to witness this incredible cosmic event up close. When it happens, the explosion will create a spectacular show of light. First, there will be a sudden wave of neutrinos, tiny particles that will travel through Earth and be picked up by special observatories around the world. Afterward, as high-energy photons escape from the star's expanding cloud of debris, Betelgeuse will grow brighter and brighter. Within a week, the star could become up to 100 times brighter than it normally is. If the explosion is strong enough, its light might even outshine the full moon and could be seen during the day. At night, the brilliance of the supernova might cast shadows on Earth, just like moonlight. This awe-inspiring event won't be over quickly either. It will last long enough for astronomers to study it in great detail, giving them a once-in-a-lifetime chance to make groundbreaking discoveries about the universe. The supernova of Betelgeuse might stir up speculation and worry because, in the past, people often linked such events to bad omens. However, we can rest easy knowing that we are far enough away to be safe from any harmful effects. To truly understand the mystery of Betelgeuse, we need to look back to the late 2019, when strange things started happening. Around that time, the red supergiant star began dimming significantly, a change that was visible even without a telescope. Using powerful tools like the Very Large Telescope, scientists saw that while Betelgeuse looked mostly symmetrical, there were clear signs of some major disturbance in its outer layer. A cosmic show is happening right now, fascinating astronomers around the world. Betelgeuse, the stunning red supergiant on Orion's shoulder, is going through an incredible transformation. Its brightness, the glowing light that makes it stand out in the sky, has increased dramatically, by an amazing 50%. But with this surprising rise in brightness, the Betelgeuse supernova is set to take the night sky all over the world, shining more brilliantly than ever. But what secret might this event reveal? Join us as we unravel the mystery of what's going on with the Betelgeuse and how it might take over the night sky all over the world. Phenomenal supernova of Betelgeuse. Betelgeuse, a gigantic star nearing the end of its life, is so enormous that if it were placed at the center of our solar system, its outer edge would reach Jupiter. This star is now highly expected to collapse in a dramatic and powerful explosion known as a supernova. This explosion, according to astronomers, is expected to lead to the creation of either a neutron star or a black hole. What makes Betelgeuse's upcoming supernova so exciting is that it will be one of the most remarkable events ever seen from Earth. Positioned about 650 light-years away, our planet is in a perfect spot to witness this incredible. A cosmic show is happening right now, fascinating astronomers around the world. Betelgeuse, the stunning red supergiant on Orion's shoulder, is going through an incredible transformation. Its brightness, the glowing light that makes it stand out in the sky, has increased dramatically, by an amazing 50%. But with this surprising rise in brightness, the Betelgeuse supernova is set to take the night sky all over the world, shining more brilliantly than ever. But what secret might this event reveal? Join us as we unravel the mystery of what's going on with the Betelgeuse and how it might take over the night sky all over the world. Phenomenal supernova of Betelgeuse. Betelgeuse, a gigantic star nearing the end of its life, is so enormous that if it were placed at the center of our solar system, its outer edge would reach Jupiter. This star is now highly expected to collapse in a dramatic and powerful explosion known as a supernova. This explosion, according to astronomers, is expected to lead to the creation of either a neutron star or a black hole. What makes Betelgeuse's upcoming supernova so exciting is that it will be one of the most remarkable events ever seen from Earth. Positioned about 650 light-years away, our planet is in a perfect spot to witness this incredible cosmic event up close. When it happens, the explosion will create a spectacular show of light. First, there will be a sudden wave of neutrinos, tiny particles that will travel through Earth and be picked up by special observatories around the world. Afterward, as high-energy photons escape from the star's expanding cloud of debris, Betelgeuse will grow brighter and brighter. Within a week, the star could become up to 100 times brighter than it normally is. If the explosion is strong enough, its light might even outshine the full moon and could be seen during the day. At night, the brilliance of the supernova might cast shadows on Earth, just like moonlight. This awe-inspiring event won't be over quickly either. It will last long enough for astronomers to study it in great detail, giving them a once-in-a-lifetime chance to make groundbreaking discoveries about the universe. The supernova of Betelgeuse might stir up speculation and worry because, in the past, people often linked such events to bad omens. However, we can rest easy knowing that we are far enough away to be safe from any harmful effects. To truly understand the mystery of Betelgeuse, we need to look back to the late 2019, when strange things started happening. Around that time, the red supergiant star began dimming significantly, a change that was visible even without a telescope. Using powerful tools like the Very Large Telescope, scientists saw that while Betelgeuse looked mostly symmetrical, there were clear signs of some major disturbance in its outer layers, which we call the photosphere. This photosphere is the star's outermost layer, the one that emits light. Researchers also noticed something intriguing. The star's outer layer seemed to be expanding, making it look like Betelgeuse was getting bigger when viewed from Earth. This expansion was steady at a speed of about 8 kilometers per second throughout most of the 2019. But by mid-November of that year, something changed. The outward motion began slowing down, and eventually, the flow of material from the star came to a stop. Astronomers, eager to understand what was happening, took fresh images of Betelgeuse. Their new observations revealed two big surprises. First, a dark spot had appeared in the southern hemisphere of the star, creating a dramatic difference compared to earlier images from the start of the year. Secondly, between January 27th and February 13th, 2020, Betelgeuse, a star famous for its brightness, experienced a significant drop in surface temperature, falling by about 80 Kelvin. During this period, its brightness reached an all-time low. This dimming happened roughly a year after a major outflow of material from the star had stopped. Over the following months, Betelgeuse slowly brightened again and returned to its usual level of brightness. This unusual event sparked a lot of curiosity. Scientists looked at all the evidence and concluded that Betelgeuse had undergone a massive and unprecedented event called a surface mass ejection, SME. An SME is similar to what we see as coronal mass ejections, CMEs, on the Sun. To understand an SME, think of it like a gigantic volcanic eruption happening on a star. Material from deep inside the star shoots up and out, creating shock waves in its atmosphere. Over time, this material forms into dust and particles, which can block our view of the star and make it look dimmer. In Betelgeuse's case, this event was especially dramatic. The amount of material ejected was about 400 billion times more than what is usually seen in such events on other stars or in CMEs. This mass was several times greater than the Moon and was thrown out at incredibly high speeds. Researchers were astonished because no one had ever observed such a massive ejection from a star's surface before. The event allowed scientists to closely observe and study the surface details of a star using the Hubble telescope. This provided a real-time view of how a dying star, like Betelgeuse, ages and evolves. A recent significant event, known as a supernova mass ejection, SME, had a major effect on Betelgeuse, causing it to shed a large amount of its mass all at once. This showed that a dying star can lose a lot of mass in a single event, beyond its usual gradual loss due to stellar winds. It was almost as if Betelgeuse had forcefully thrown off its outer layers and is now slowly recovering from this dramatic event. After this dimming event, Betelgeuse's behavior changed. Previously, the star would pulse or change its brightness every 400 days, but now it pulses every 200 days. Betelgeuse is known as a semi-regular variable star, which means it goes through several cycles of changing brightness due to changes in its size and temperature. This red supergiant star has two main patterns of light pulsation. One pattern lasts about 400 days and is thought to be due to basic pulsations in its core. The other pattern is a longer cycle, lasting about 5.6 years, and its cause is still not fully understood. In their research, scientists used computer simulations to better understand what happened with a star. They suggested that a very hot gas bubble, like a big intense balloon, formed inside the star. These hot gas bubbles can sometimes appear because the star's outer layers are turbulent and constantly moving, similar to how soup bubbles and stirs in a boiling pot. As this hot bubble rose and broke through the star's surface, it caused some of the star's material to be expelled. This event also interrupted the star's usual pulsation rhythm. Normally, the star would expand and contract every 400 days, but because of the bubble, it changed to a new pattern of expanding and contracting every 200 days. Astronomers believe that over the next 5 to 10 years, the star will return to its usual 400-day pulsation cycle as things settle down. As for the possibility of the star Betelgeuse exploding as a supernova, scientists think it could happen any time within the next 10,000 to 100,000 years. This estimate is based on the star's color, brightness, size, and how old it is. Scientists believe that Betelgeuse, a massive star, is currently going through a crucial phase where it's turning helium into carbon. This is just the beginning of a process where the star will continue to fuse heavier elements like oxygen, silicon, and finally iron. Eventually, the star's core will collapse under its gravity, leading to a massive explosion known as a supernova. Betelgeuse is 650 light-years away from us, which means that if a supernova were to happen now, we wouldn't see it for another 650 years because light takes that long to travel to us. As a result, it's very unlikely that we'll see Betelgeuse explode during our lifetimes. What makes Betelgeuse special is that we can see its surface up close, which is rare for most stars. This unique view allows scientists to learn more about how large stars like Betelgeuse change as they age, including their surprising outbursts and other dramatic events. Next, we uncover the unusual activity of Betelgeuse. Betelgeuse's strange behavior. Recently, astronomers made a startling discovery. For the first time, they observed a star consuming its planet, located 12,000 light-years away in the constellation Aquila. Betelgeuse, a star with a captivating name and a notable position in the night sky, has fascinated people for centuries. Its importance goes beyond just scientific interest. It has also made its mark on pop culture and mythology around the globe. The name Betelgeuse has an interesting background, rooted in Arabic. It originally meant the armpit of the giant, though some scholars believe it could also refer to a hand or shoulder. This anatomical connection is reflected in various cultural interpretations of Betelgeuse, often linking it to figures of gods, heroes, or animals in different mythologies. In ancient Japan, Betelgeuse was thought of as a severed limb, while in Brazil, it was seen as the leg of a turtle or a caiman's back leg. In Sanskrit, Betelgeuse is called the Moist One, connected to the Hindu astrological sign Ardra and the storm god Rudra. Throughout history, Betelgeuse has been important in cultural practices and traditions. For example, in Macedonia, it symbolized domesticated animals and farm life. On North Baffin Island and the Melville Peninsula, its rising marked the start of spring and longer days. Betelgeuse's cultural significance is also linked to its place in the constellation Orion, where it is known as the star on Orion's right shoulder. As one of the brightest stars in the sky, ranked 11th in luminosity, Betelgeuse continues to inspire artists, writers, and filmmakers. Betelgeuse is classified as a red giant star, which means it has moved on from burning hydrogen in its core to fusing helium into heavier elements after using up its hydrogen supply. When a star like Betelgeuse runs out of hydrogen, it's a big event. The star needs extra energy to start burning helium, which causes it to expand to several times its original size. This expansion makes the star look redder and cooler. Betelgeuse is huge. Its outer layers of hot gas would stretch out far enough to cover Jupiter if it were placed at the center of our solar system. Despite its size, it's hard to measure exactly how big Betelgeuse is. Eventually, Betelgeuse's core will collapse into a black hole once it has burned through its remaining fuel. This will cause a massive explosion, sending the star's outer layers into space at speeds up to 25,000 meters per second. This explosion, known as a supernova, will be an amazing sight for anyone watching from Earth. Recently, astronomers have been worried because Betelgeuse has been acting strangely. Since 2019, its brightness has dropped a lot, and some scientists think this might mean the star is getting ready to explode as a supernova soon. Scientists have found that the star Betelgeuse has lost a lot of its visible surface and has partially exploded. This has caused noticeable changes in how bright the star appears, which has sparked interest in what might happen next. The astronomy community is keen to understand these changes because they could mean Betelgeuse is about to enter a new phase in its life cycle. It's normal for stars to flicker a bit, and Betelgeuse has had a regular pattern of flickering and pulsing that we've observed closely. Every 400 days, the star would dim and then brighten again. However, at the end of 2019, Betelgeuse experienced what was called the Great Dimming. During this event, the star lost its usual 400-day pattern and behaved in a completely unexpected way, leaving scientists puzzled. After several weeks of careful research, scientists were able to solve the mysteries behind the Great Dimming and understand what was happening with Betelgeuse. A team of researchers from a university in France has put forward an interesting theory about why the star Betelgeuse became dim in 2019. They suggest that a dust explosion on the star's surface might be the cause. By analyzing data from NASA's Hubble Space Telescope and other observatories, astronomers found that Betelgeuse, a bright red supergiant star, experienced a dramatic event in 2019. It seemed to have blown its top by ejecting a huge amount of its outer surface. This event was unprecedented and unlike anything seen in the behavior of normal stars. Our sun has a delicate outer layer called the corona, which is occasionally pushed away in bursts known as coronal mass ejections, CMEs. However, the mass ejected by Betelgeuse was 400 billion times greater than that of a typical CME. The researchers believe that a huge cloud of hot gas, expelled by Betelgeuse, briefly blocked some of its light, which is why the star appeared so much dimmer in 2019. Now, scientists are curious about what might happen next. They wonder when Betelgeuse might explode into a supernova, and if we will be around to witness it. Now let's take a deeper look into its potential to explode as a supernova. Betelgeuse's imminent explosion. The James Webb Space Telescope has provided researchers with never-before-seen images of the star Betelgeuse, allowing for a deeper look into its potential to explode as a supernova. This possibility has sparked considerable debate among astronomers. Most experts believe Betelgeuse will go supernova within the next 100,000 years, a brief moment in cosmic terms, though much longer than a human lifetime. However, a recent study by Yuki Sayo and his team from Tohoku University in Japan suggests that Betelgeuse might be closer to exploding and further along in its development than previously thought. Some scientists challenge this conclusion. Sayo and his team used computer simulations to track how stars evolved from their birth to their old age, predicting the types of pulsations they would exhibit at different stages. They found that Betelgeuse's pulsations, ranging from every 2,200 days to every 185 days, align with what you'd expect from a star nearing the end of its carbon-burning phase. According to their predictions, once Betelgeuse runs out of carbon in its core, it will likely collapse and explode as a supernova, within just a few tens of years. The big question remains, when exactly will Betelgeuse deplete its carbon supply? It's hard to determine exactly because the pulsing times of Betelgeuse have been quite steady in the final stages. Researchers currently can't precisely measure how much carbon is left in the star's core. At this point, they can only guess that it will take less than a few hundred years for the star to use up its carbon fuel. However, the research group led by CO isn't suggesting that Betelgeuse will explode in the next decade or even tomorrow. Experts believe that Betelgeuse is more likely to blow up within the next 100 years rather than in 10,000 or 100,000 years. Some researchers are doubtful about these new calculations. A physicist who studies pulsing stars notes that the latest findings don't match earlier observations of Betelgeuse. There's an issue with interpreting the star's 200-day pulsing cycle as part of its natural breathing process. This interpretation makes the supergiant star look larger than it is. Additionally, the measurements were taken in infrared light, which goes deeper into the star than visible light. This can cause differences because visible light observations, which show the star's outer layer, known as the photosphere, suggest a smaller size. If the 200-day pulse is indeed radial, it introduces even more problems to our understanding. Scientists estimate that the surface of a star like Betelgeuse changes size by expanding and contracting at a speed of about 1.5 kilometers per second over a span of 2,200 days. If this star breathes in this way, its entire diameter would vary by 180 times the size of the Sun with each cycle. This is a massive change, even for experts. The possibility of seeing a supernova from such a star is quite exciting. Betelgeuse, in particular, fascinates both amateur and professional astronomers. While we can't predict exactly when this supernova might occur, it promises to be an extraordinary display in the night sky. Observing this event could give us valuable insights into the workings of supernovas and the life cycles of stars. A supernova is one of the universe's most spectacular events, but fortunately, if Betelgeuse explodes, it won't pose any threat to Earth. The star is too far away to cause any harm. Studies suggest that a supernova would only affect Earth if it were within 160 light-years. Betelgeuse is likely 4 times farther away, so Earth will remain safe. However, the explosion will be a breathtaking sight from our planet. When Betelgeuse eventually blows up, everyone on Earth will see a dazzlingly bright star in the night sky. Expert astronomers are eagerly anticipating this event, as it will provide a rare chance to study a supernova up close. Meanwhile, casual stargazers and amateur astronomers will also enjoy the spectacle. Even though Betelgeuse will be missed by those who have admired its bright red glow in the constellation Orion, the upcoming explosion will be an unforgettable and awe-inspiring sight. Moving further, let's explore the breathtaking spectacle in the sky. Betelgeuse's cosmic secrets. Betelgeuse is an extraordinary star, not just because it shines so brightly, but also because it has fascinated humans for centuries. For generations, people have looked up at the sky and been guided by Betelgeuse's deep reddish glow, from travelers navigating across vast deserts to stargazers marveling at its beauty. It's so gigantic a star that it could swallow up our entire solar system. That's Betelgeuse. Though it's only about 10 million years old, which makes it much younger than our Sun, its enormous size means it burns its fuel quickly. This means it has a much shorter lifespan compared to smaller stars. Betelgeuse is now at the end of its life, preparing for a grand finale, a supernova explosion. When this happens, it will release an incredible amount of energy and light, creating a breathtaking spectacle in the sky. The last time Earth witnessed a supernova like this was in 1604 when the Kepler supernova lit up the sky so brightly that it could even be seen during the day for weeks. Stars like Betelgeuse don't explode often, but when they do, the remnants left behind provide scientists with crucial information about how these massive stars live and die. Betelgeuse, one of the most well-known stars in the night sky, has been behaving in ways that have astronomers both excited and confused. Between October 2017 and early 2023, the star's brightness dropped sharply, catching the attention of stargazers around the world. It seemed to return to normal by April 2023. But soon after, its brightness increased by an amazing 50%, sparking new conversations about what might happen next. Betelgeuse's unpredictable behavior has scientists wondering if we might be closer than ever to seeing this giant star reach its explosive end. As researchers continue to closely monitor it, the secrets of this part of space are gradually being revealed. But why has Betelgeuse been acting so strangely? Why did this famous star suddenly change its brightness so much? Stars aren't just distant points of light. They are living, dynamic celestial bodies with life cycles full of activity and wonder. Many stars go through regular changes in brightness, much like the changing seasons on Earth. In Betelgeuse's case, it has followed a steady 400-day cycle of getting brighter and dimmer. However, its recent dimming and sudden brightening seems to break all the rules we thought we understood, challenging our knowledge of the stars and the vast universe above. While the exact reasons behind Betelgeuse's strange behavior are still being studied, an interesting idea has caught the attention of scientists. This idea focuses on the star's strong activity and the release of huge amounts of material. Think of Betelgeuse like a giant cosmic volcano suddenly erupting, throwing a massive chunk of its matter into space. Past observations from the Hubble Space Telescope showed that Betelgeuse has already thrown a large amount of its outer material into the universe. This was no small event. It released a mass 100 billion times larger than typical solar eruptions, equal to several times the mass of our moon. Such eruptions can create a thick cloud of dust around the star, dimming its light and making it harder to see. Once this dust clears or is blown away by the star's strong radiation, Betelgeuse's brightness returns to normal, as though the star is coming back into view after being hidden behind a cosmic curtain. These recent eruptions suggest that Betelgeuse may have more surprises coming. Some astronomers even think that the star is nearing the end of its life and could be preparing for a grand finale, a supernova explosion. A supernova is one of the most incredible events in the universe, a huge burst of energy that can briefly shine brighter than an entire galaxy. This happens when a star undergoes a big change in its core, like when it runs out of fuel or takes in too much matter from a nearby star. In Betelgeuse's case, it is likely running out of nuclear fuel, causing the star's core to collapse under its weight, setting the stage for an awe-inspiring explosion that would leave the universe watching in wonder. Now, we'll examine how the star to expand into a red giant. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. The Betelgeuse Supernova was about to light up the night sky all over the world. One night, the sky began to shine with an unusual brightness. The star Betelgeuse, known for its red shine, was about to explode spectacularly. People everywhere, from busy cities to quiet villages, looked up in amazement as Betelgeuse went supernova. As the star exploded, its light spread across the world like a stunning fireworks display. The sky turned into a canvas of bright colors, showing shades of red, orange, and gold. This cosmic explosion lit up the night, making it feel like the universe itself was putting on a grand show. Astronomers watched in wonder, knowing that such an event happens only once in a lifetime. For a few magical nights, people all over the world shared the same breathtaking view, connecting everyone with the beauty of the universe. The supernova showed everyone the vastness and wonder of space, turning an ordinary night into an extraordinary cosmic celebration. How did Betelgeuse's supernova make you feel about the universe? Let us know your opinion in the comments section. A celestial time capsule. Stars like Betelgeuse begin their lives by burning hydrogen in their cores, a phase called the main sequence stage that lasts for millions of years and forms the foundation of a star's life. As the hydrogen gets used up, the star must find new sources of energy. For Betelgeuse, this means starting to burn helium, which produces carbon and oxygen. This shift from burning hydrogen to burning helium causes the star to expand into a red giant. As the helium runs out, the star continues to expand and enter new phases, each involving the fusion of heavier and heavier elements. The larger the star, the faster these changes happen. When iron starts forming in the core, the star swells up and eventually collapses, leading to a dramatic explosion called a supernova. Recent studies suggest it might currently be in the carbon-burning phase. The lead researcher believes that the core could collapse a few decades after its carbon runs out. However, not all scientists agree. Research from Hungary's Konkoly Observatory suggests Betelgeuse might still be in the helium-burning phase. Despite these differing views, everyone agrees that Betelgeuse is expected to become the Milky Way's next supernova. Predicting exactly when this will happen, however, is a challenge, with estimates ranging from a few decades to 100,000 years. Amid these scientific debates, one intriguing fact remains. The very nature of observing Betelgeuse reveals a subtle paradox related to time and light. When we look up at the night sky, we see the star as it was in the past due to the time it takes for light to travel to us. In our vast universe, stars and celestial objects are so far away that their light takes a huge